Okay, here a video on, yeah, what shall I say, how to organize or how to work with groups and layers. And so this is going to be a little bit of a, in some ways, a backwards video because I'm starting here out with an organized design. And this is a bot designed, by the way, and I'm only using it for the demo purpose here to show you how this one is put together and how we can go and rearrange things if we want to. So I loaded this embroidery file, and as you can see, it has it is all in one group. It is all grouped together, and as I'm showing the group, there we have all the different color blocks. Now if I want to arrange something, as you can see, now I'm clicking on it and I have the full layer selected. Now in order to select something within this group, I would have to double click, then I go into the next level, and then I click. Now you can see in my object panel, now I am in the turtle group. Now in order to select something in there, I would have to double click it again, and then I go and click. Then I'm in the color block group. Now if I want to select that specific one, I have to click on it again. Now you can see I'm in the color block, and now I finally can go and select it. And if I want to move that over a little bit, I can go and move that over. Oh, I see snapping is turned on. I should turn that off. So now I finally can go and manipulate that item. And now I can go, since I am in that group and that color group, now I can manipulate those. And if I go into a different group, as you can see, now I am in the group. But now if I want to select a specific leaf on it, I first have to double click before I'm into the group. If we want to make that easier, what we can do is we see here in the objects panel, we see the V, L, and T, and then we see the CM. Okay, so the first one, that is the visibility. So that is by turning the object or the group of the object on or off. So if I want to go and see which color block this is, then I can go and turn the visibility off, and then I can see what color block that is. And that is the same with any other one. As we can see, that is the fins here on these fish. So that is for visibility. This one, that is the lock. So we can go and lock a certain color block, and then we cannot select it. We cannot, or now I have it selected, but it will not allow me to go and move that. Let me see what happened here. That's a little bit of an annoying thing too, working with the groups, because you're working, all of a sudden you're clicking on something and you're jumping to a different group. As you can see, I'm just like that, move into a different group. So now I'm going back to this group, and as you can see, I'm trying to drag it, but I can't. And there you can see all of a sudden I grabbed a different group and moved that one. So that sometimes is a little bit annoying. Then the next button here that tells us if it is a layer or if it is a group. And now you have a white one and a yellow one. That means it is a group. So these items, they are grouped together. And when we go into the group, then you can see there are multiple objects. But now comes the interesting thing. We can go and, as you can see, now I clicked on that icon. And now I have 3 layers of white on there. Now it is a layer. And to confirm this a little bit, I will go now to the layers panel. If you don't see that here, you go here to the layers and layers panel, and there you can see I may have a layer 1 and the turtle and the color block 16. And if I'm in my objects panel, color block 16, there you can see that was turned into a layer. So now I can go, and I tried it before, select all of them and then change them into a layer, but that didn't seem to want to work. The only way it seemed to want to work, that was by individual clicking on it, and we can convert that way. We can convert them all into layers. And I'll change that one yet, and that one. So now if I go into my layers panel, we should see color block 12 to 16 at least in there. And there you can see now I have all my layers over here, and I can turn visibility off as a layer. Then if I go back to my objects panel again, oh, I see I must have moved something in earlier and did not make note of it, but that's okay. This is just for demo purpose anyway. Then what I found also is now I have this color block selected. This one is a group, and if I double click on there, I want to rename it, and let's see, that is the yellow fish. So say if I want to call that yellow and then press the enter button, it will not allow me to go and change that. So now what I go and do is turn it into a layer. I go to my, and so make note that is color block 11. I go to my layers panel, and there I have my yellow. Now I go to my objects. Oh, okay. I go here and then right click, rename layer, and I call it yellow, rename. And why is it not doing it now? I had earlier, and then it would change the name on the color block here, because it was layer. And now if I go try rename layer, yellow, rename, Well, I was able to rename it without any issues. So I don't know exactly the reason why. Let's close the object panel for a moment and let's open up the objects panel again. And as you can see now it has refreshed. So I guess it has to do with the refreshing in the background or so, that it didn't update. So as I closed it and renamed it, then it showed up. And that is the same here with any other color block. You can do the same thing. Okay, now we'll go and select here the bottom color block for a moment, and that is a group. So I'll go and move this group over for a moment, and we can see that are these green leaves. Now if I want to select one of these green leaves, I cannot select one of them because they are in a group. But in order to get into the group, I have to double select them, and then I can go and select each individually. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll go and turn this color block 1, we turn this into a layer. So now it is a layer. As you can see, the 3 layers of paper on top of each other. Now I can right away select individual parts and pieces within the layer. So that makes it easier to work with, in my opinion. Everybody has a different workflow. Something seems to be acting up a little here. Sometimes if you have small items, you'll have to zoom in a little closer in order to make the proper selection of the item. So that is what I like about working with a layer. So now, how can we organize? There is a way. We go and, as we have all our items as individual items, and maybe I should go and do that for a moment so that you can see what's a little bit going on. Then what we can do is we can go we can go Object, Ungroup, or let me go Extensions, no, Path, Objects. Where did I see it now? There is an option, and that is Arrange and Deep Ungroup. And then go and apply. So now you can see, I'll close this window, and now I'll go and select everything, and then you can see there are a total of 385 objects in this SVG. But I don't know if everything is in the right order, say. And let me see what I have in the layers panel. As you can see, all the layers have disappeared because everything has been ungrouped. So if that is the way we are creating, then no problem, we can go and organize it all. So then what we can do is we can select, or we first say have to make a plan, what are we gonna call the pieces. And so let's first start with the water droplets. So then we can go and we can add a layer, and we can say we call that water, and we call the layer water. Now I can go and select one object, one water droplet. Then I can go to Edit and select Same, and then I have here options: fill and stroke, fill color, stroke style, or object type. Well, since this is an embroidery file, I need to work with stroke color. So I'll select here, select all the same stroke colors, and as I'm zooming out, you can see that all the water droplets are selected now. And then I can go and right click on there and then go move to layer, and then I can go and select the water layer, and I can go move. And as you can see, now all the water droplets are in this layer. And I can do the same thing with all the other ones. Say we create one because there is light green and darker green leaves. So I call this light green. And so there too you can select above where to create the layer, above the current or below the current or as a sub layer. So let's go and just leave it above the current, add. Now I can go and select one of these leaves, go edit, select same, stroke color, and that should select all the same leaves. And then I can go right click on it, move to layer, and I can select the light green and I can go move. And there you can see all the objects, they are now in the light green layer. If I so desire, I can go and turn this layer into a group by just clicking on this one, and I will now, those leaves, they are all grouped together within the layer. So if I want to move them as all together, then I'm best off and make it as a group. If I want to move individuals, then it's almost easier, and just like that, and switch it over into a layer. Because to select all of them in the layer, then you can go into the objects panel, select all your objects within the layer, or if you have them grouped, and then deselect and say now it is a group. All I need to do is, because I'm in the group already. But if you're outside the group and then select something and then go back there, now you have right away the whole group selected. It is a little bit getting used to the functionality of it and the flow of it, but once you get a hang of it, it becomes really easy to work with your layers and groups and switching them from layers to groups and from groups to layers. So that is how you can organize them in that way. Now let's go to the water, and that one is selected now, and let's go extension, ink stitch, or at least according to this I should have them only selected. It didn't seem that way on the screen, but we'll find out in a hurry. No. So I'll select these for a moment, and these objects, and shift select. Now we have those water drops. We have them selected. We go extension, ink stitch, and visualize. Go to the simulator, and now we want to make note where it is starting. So we see it is starting on the top, then it goes down, and so let's say we do not like the order that these water droplets are stitching out. So then what we'll do is we'll go and close out of here, and let's say we want to start over here and we go around this way. So we can select them. We can go and select this one and say, hey, that is the one I want first, and then we can go and move it. Why? Okay, there it needed to think a little bit. The computer for some reason is a little slow tonight, but we'll get through it. So you can move it up and down, and then what I sometimes do, if I only have a few items to adjust this way, once I'm happy with where that one is, then I'll go and turn the visibility off. Then at least I know which one is the last one I had, and then I go to the next one, and then I bring that one up or down. But there is another way of doing it, and I'll zoom in a little bit closer here. What we also can do is select the first one, then hold down the shift key, and now watch the order that I'm selecting. Hold down the shift key and keep holding down the shift key, and I go around selecting and now I have all the water droplets are selected, and we can see that also here in the water layer that all the objects are selected. Then we can go extension, ink stitch, edit, restack objects in order of selection, and then ink stitch will think for a moment, and now it has reorganized the objects, and we'll check that out. We'll go to the extension, ink stitch, visualize simulator, and the previous one, when it was stitching out, it was going from this side going around this way, and now we can see it is going the other direction, and this is the direction that we had selected and had Inkstitch rearrange the objects in order of stitching. Also, what can be noted here at this point is from this object to that object there is a jump stitch, and we can see here the trims and the jumps. We can see them also here, and there you can see here there is only a jump and there is no trim. So we can go and have a look at that for a moment. And as we can see, come on now. Oh, Inkscape is giving me trouble. No, it's going. It's recovering. Okay, so this object you can see that's got a scissor on there. This object does not have a scissor on there, and so that was the first one, and this was the second object. You can see this was the second object and that was the first object. So we can see that this one does not have a trim. So what we can do is, if we want to work with trims, then we can go and apply a trim to that, and we go Extension, Inkstitch, Commands, Attach Command to the object, and then there are, depending what kind of command you want to apply, but this is the trim thread after sewing this object. So if we go and apply, and there you can see now the command has been added to that object. Also, sometimes if you want to make minor adjustments to a Inkscape is giving me a trouble. I gotta shut her down. She is closing on me, and so I'll be back in a few moments and reset here for a moment. Okay, there we're back again. Hopefully things will go smooth now from now on. So yeah, there we had created now this trim thread, and so now we can go and select them again, shift select, extension, Inkstitch, simulator, and now we can see we do not see that jump anymore, and there we can see the trims. Now we have here the trims and the jumps, they are all matching with each other. So that is how you can add a trim command. So also what I like to show here, these green leaves, I would want to go and make adjustments on them, because I don't see the use of having each leaf individually trimmed if they are sitting right beside each other. So what I can do is I can go and connect the two with each other, but then I would also have to remove the trim command. So then I can go to this object, and go extension, ink stitch, and now I gotta think here, troubleshoot, remove embroidery settings. So we go to the remove embroidery settings, and then we have an option that we can remove the params or we can remove a command. So and for this instance we want to remove the trim command, so we select the remove command and then we go and apply. Oh, that is a possibility that it's not working this time because I did a deep ungroup. Then we'll try it on this one, see what it does. We go extension, because earlier I had, or before, whenever I use it, I've had no issues. Troubleshoot, remove embroidery settings, remove commands, apply. And that's the same thing. I'm getting the same error, and I have a feeling that this may be because so like I say, I cannot really tell you now exactly why that command did not want to work. We can, for that matter, I can try one more. But since I went and normally everything is let me see, I'll move this one out. Yeah, this command, okay, I know for sure this command is attached to the leaf, so let's check that one for a moment, see if that one works. So we go have this leaf, then extension, ink stitch, troubleshoot, remove embroidery settings, remove command, and apply. And I'm getting the same code again. Well, I'll have to see, check that out later, and I may go and forward this into the toward GitHub, because I have not had this issue before. Normally I can just click that and remove the commands. So and it seems to be attached to extension. I mean, we can go and look at find the command over here in the objects panel too, and go and remove it from there. But normally this should work without any problem, and I'm getting the same error. So, and if I click on the marker, as you can see, that is the command marker, and I should be able to delete it from there, and then go and delete that one. So that way it can be removed also. But like I say, I've never had that error, so I'll check that out and see if I can get more info on that. So hopefully this has helped you on how to go about organizing some of the stuff. It is and how to work with the layers and the groups. Okay, if more questions, feel free to ask, and have fun digitizing.